There is a picture that is fast becoming familiar with Nigeria's urban cities. Busy roads, high rises, endless construction, all pointing to one thing: a fast-growing population. Take Abuja, for example. Many have been drawn to it from all over Nigeria for work and the promise of a better life. Among them is a growing number of young Nigerians. But for many, this promise is as far from reach as the distant places they have traveled from. And yet, almost on a daily basis, more and more young people, armed with sheer talent and imagination, are coming up with creative ways to earn a living. For such people, there is one place that is creating numerous opportunities for skills acquisition: ITF's Model Skills Training Center, MSTC. One of Nigeria's urgent challenges is the growing rate of youth unemployment, and this has been brought about largely by rapidly growing population. By 2050, Nigeria's population will become the third largest in the world, with more than 400 million people. Today, half of Nigeria's population is made up of the youth, those between 15 and 34 years of age, with 15 million either unemployed or underemployed. Those most affected by unemployment are under the age of 25, and this is one of the groups which MSTC is targeting with its programs.
The age range of the trainees that come through this course is 18 to 30. But on the average, we can say the age of our trainees are 22.
We prefer those age group because of the nature of the training.
Olajuwon Samuel and Jerry Dashe are trainees at the Electronics and Computer Networking Program, ECN. They currently have a few months left to graduate.
I enrolled in the electronics department, where I'm studying how to connect electronic components. It has really helped me a lot because I'm learning it to improve my project, which is the biogas project. I want to turn gas into electricity. I just have like 4 months left to go, of which the experience has been great.
If you are doing something like electronics, or if you have ambition in doing something in electronics, you will want to go to where you get most of your work done on practicals. I chose it because of the practical.
Biplang, who graduated from MSTC in 2014, is one of the pioneers of the ECN program. A self-described tech lover and programmer, he is currently employed with a radio station in Abuja. His journey to MSTC began with an interest he developed in programming.
From inception, I had passion for anything tech. So I enrolled first at NTRS, where I did my diploma in computer maintenance. From there, I developed a passion for programming. Along the way, my uncle, who is a staff at ITF also, introduced me to Model Skills Training Center. The course that got me interested was electronics and computer networking. Because of the passion I had for programming, I really wanted to create software to solve problems. So that was what led me into electronics computer networking at MSTC. Here at WFM, we have electronics that you get to work on: system units, CCTV cameras, transmitters, and so many other gadgets. So it would be very difficult if I didn't have the skills from the beginning.
Moshe and Matthias are graduates of ICT. They both finished their program in the same year as Biplang. For each of them also, life after MSTC has equally been exciting. Like most residents of the FCT, Matthias makes the relatively hectic trip from the suburbs to his place of work in the heart of the city. Having lived in the FCT most of his life, he's observed keenly the speed at which his environment has changed, and he's intimately aware of the increasing rate of unemployment around him. He picked up an interest in networking when he was at MSTC.
When I got to the training center, I discovered the hard networking. So I decided to put more effort in learning how to do this networking. At MSCC, they do more of practicals. So we have the opportunity to have a feel of this equipment. They don't tell us about it, we see it, we work with it, and that's what have helped me all this while. After the training, I submitted a letter to Galaxy Backbone for industrial attachment. Most of the training I got from the school was guiding me in the things I did in Galaxy Backbone. At some point, they didn't even know that I'm an IT student. I was trained as a professional in IT. So I worked like a professional, I was able to solve problems. At some point, they had to even move me from a department to another department to go and head the department. Now, I was an IT student, but I could head that department. The skills I got helped me deliver the work I was given.
Matthias is really the go-to guy when you want an issue solved here. He always helps with customers' issues outside office. And any other issues, I think he's like one of the top persons here that assists us in most of our work here.
Moshe has been working as a software developer since graduating from MSTC. He's mostly interested in building apps.
Immediately I graduated, I actually have been doing a freelance job. I've done a series of programming for people. I actually started with ITF. I did a portal for the area office Abuja here. So after then I have done a series of websites, e-commerce platform for people, all from the skill I got from MSTC.
Everybody needs information technology because the world is going globally connected. Now, I intend to help the youth, more especially in the field of skill acquisition. And I think technically in PC support, Java, or any other of these courses, everybody needs at least one to be relevant. I think I'm one of the most privileged person to be in MSTC here in Abuja.
MSTC places a lot of emphasis on entrepreneurship, and this has made its graduates highly enterprising.
The life skill module has really been of immense importance to me and my business. Before coming to this program, I had this vision to help develop the minds of youths and to develop our community which we live in. Coming to a program like this is going to equip me with the ideas to help encourage my peer groups to push on.
Fortunate Academy is owned by my son, Fortunate, and it's a computer business where he trains children because he have gone to learn it, and now he's imparting it to some of the youths.
In the last decade, opportunities in the ICT sector have grown tremendously owing to the penetration of information technology in Nigeria. Consequently, many young Nigerians have turned their attention to careers in this sector, which has become a fitting opportunity for those with ICT skills.
Abuja is growing, a lot of businesses are coming in, and a lot of businesses that also need ICT services and support.
I believe with the skills we've acquired here in the MSTC, I believe will be very, very useful going forward, in the drive to take Nigeria to be a leader in the digital economy to which the world is right now.
Graduates from MSTC have a distinct hands-on capability, which is often in contrast to a high number of graduates from regular tertiary institutions.
There was an interview I attended for an organization I also worked with. The interview compiled of graduate and skilled holders, and actually I was picked out because of the skill. Because when they test your practicals and they see that you can deliver, you will have an edge over those that don't have a skill.
Nigeria's university graduates reportedly account for almost a fifth of youth unemployment, with a high number remaining unemployed for upwards of 5 years after graduation.
My name is Naala Benjamin Shaba, a graduate of Economics, BSc Ed Economics. I've been unemployed for the past 9 years. The kids are there, the wife is there, and it has not really been easy. Sometimes I'll borrow my friend's car or take my elder brother's car to go and hustle. Even along that, the union people will disturb somebody. If you go to the park today, you see a lot of graduates, people who have master's degree, trying to drive just to make something at the end of the day. The system has failed a lot of people. the system has failed me. Me in particular, the system has failed me. But I remember a lot of people saying, go to school. We've gone to the school. First degree, masters, we all have these thoughts. But no job. What are we going to do?
This situation is on the increase and has drawn a lot of attention to the issue of employability as it relates to education.
Model Skills Training Center Abuja is the vocational arm of the fund, charged with the responsibility to equip our teeming youth with the necessary skills that will give them an edge for employability purposes. We concentrate a lot on the practical aspect of the training. Not that we don't give the theory, we do, but it's basically 20% theory and 80% practicals. And the essence is for them to be competent in what they are doing. We are aware that the industry needs competent hands, and that's our main focus. And also to give graduates that want to reskill. Some are not employed, they want to get more skills, additional skills to become employable, so we provide that platform.
Skills have provided an alternative pathway to employability for many young Nigerians, but the number of training centers have been insufficient.
We would want to set up industrial skills training center in every state of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. We would want to set up specialized centers in some of the geopolitical zones using the dominant traits of those areas. If you take Brazil, for example, where Senai is the bedrock of the Brazilian economy and has the same mandate with the Industrial Training Fund, they have over 800 industrial skills training centers, including mobile units and workshops, training centers on the seas, in order to reach the nooks and crannies. See what we are doing now with the mobile units that we brought in. We intend to use these mobile units to touch remote areas. The answer is to have additional skills centers.
MSTC has 5 core skills training programs, namely Facility Technology, Mechatronics, Information and Communications Technology, Electronics and Computer Networking, and Culinary Studies. These programs are needs-based and were deliberately selected based on the demand identified among industry players. It is therefore routine to consult with industries in the design of courses and curricula.
Recently, we were domesticating the curriculum of the automation. Experts from the industry were here to look at the curriculum, critique it, and at the end, it will be adopted for implementation in the school.
Every department at the center is unique and vital to the attainment of the overall mission. Yet they each share the same sense of mission and over time have recorded similar successes.
The Information and Communication Technology Department is saddled with the responsibility of training our youths in ICT skills, acquisition, and entrepreneurship.
The department is established to provide training on how to design, service, test, and install electronics and computer equipments.
The number of skills that you carry on here, there are as many as possible, because you have one of it without the other, it won't make you a facility man.
The formal training is very, very necessary. No matter the length of the training or the duration of the training, we cannot start anything with them except when we have taught them about the hygiene, the safety of the food they consume.
If you are here, you have knowledge in electrical, you have knowledge in plumbing, carpentry, you have knowledge in painting, you have knowledge in mechanical, you have knowledge in all these robotics, how to control the pneumatic and hydraulic systems in our industries.
We have come to discover that most institutions or training centers, they run mechatronics, but it's automotive, while we run the automation. the automation, they mostly need them in the industries. We need them in the aviation, we need them in the construction, we need them in manufacturing. Training this youth in this trade area at least will go a long way in meeting the needs of the companies.
Generally, the performance of the trainees has been encouraging. Quite a number of them came in G3, but as they progressed, they began to gain confidence, and at the end, most of them did very well. Some have actually got awarded for their excellent performance, and even after the graduation, we've been following quite a number of them too, and they've been doing very well.
It is important to note that since it was established 7 years ago, MSTC has overcome some challenges to get to this point. Chief among them has been the late arrival of vital instructional equipment for some of the programs. Some aspects of these challenges have progressively been addressed. Recently, high-level machinery were delivered to some departments, the aim of which was to close any knowledge gaps trainees might have had in the course of their program. The training programs at MSTC are modular, with each module having a quantum of skills that can be measured and deployed for work on completion of the module.
Our training are in modules. I've written 4 modules already, and our modules are employable modules. Like our first module, we have IKP, that's Introduction to Kitchen Practice. That gives you a base for you to be able to work in any culinary establishment as a kitchen assistant. And we have our second module, which is SSS, Stock, Soups and Sauces. So with that, I can be able to put things down. And I also have ASD, and I also have Nigerian cuisine. So I only have but 4 modules left for me. So with the 4 modules left for me now, if I'm able to acquire those skills, definitely I will make an impact in the society.
From the outset, ITF wanted a model training center whose goal was to produce graduates equipped with skills that would give them a competitive edge wherever they may find themselves. It was this goal that led to the discovery of the Institute for Technical Education, ITE, in Singapore. And at inception, staff of MSTC went to ITE for a skills upgrading program.
The training we attended in Singapore was basically train the trainer course.
We were there to see what they have and to be trained so that we'll have the same standard, because the certification that is going to be issued to the trainees is an international certificate. So we couldn't have done it in isolation. And that was why we had to go to Singapore to be trained, to be competent, efficient in training our own trainees.
MSCC is highly equipped. It has so much gadgets that it's 1 trainee per equipment, and it gives me enough time to further research and study to enable me learn better and achieve the best that I came to study.
The relationship between MSTC and ITE was the basis for the award of the Hitek certificate, which is accepted in Singapore. But by the end of 2017, trainees will either receive the National Innovative Diploma, NID, or the National Vocational Certificate, NVC. As technology continues to become the engine room for the growth and development of nations' economies, MSTC is strategically positioned to promote Nigeria's technological development owing to the premium that it places on science and technology.
There is no meaningful development that can take place without science, technology, and innovation, STI. And so, to that extent, the Model Skills Training Center was primarily established with a view to enhancing the industrialization of our nation. And that is why we went to other climes of the world to see their experiences and be able to replicate same in our country. And like the name suggests, is a model of a center. And we want to see how this model would be able to affect positively the entire Nigerian environment so we can expand and enhance it further.
The Government's Technical College in Kuru, Plateau State is one of Nigeria's oldest technical and vocational colleges. Established in the 50s, it was designed to train young Nigerians that could provide indigenous manpower for the emerging industrial sector. But many years have passed, and training centers such as this need a lot of intervention if they are to remain relevant to the needs of the modern economy.
A serious shift in bringing in new infrastructure will help a lot. We are in the computer age now, and you discover that most equipments that we are having today are the analog ones. But when we have the computerized equipments, that one you program everything, and whatsoever it produces for you is very, very precise. So the major need now is to have modern equipments that tally with the modern challenges of design and engineering worldwide. You don't find adequate places to do proper training for teachers, say, in the country. You may need to train them outside from time to time. We'll need intervention even in those areas to see how we can from time to time undertake one or two trainings. These are the areas that we want to see improvement and help.
Over the years, generations of Nigerians have benefited from technical and vocational training skills. Today, at the Model Skills Training Center, another generation is being trained to contribute its part to the collective task of nation building.
Okay, I have never done any training in my life, technically. This is my first time. That is why when I heard of the Modern Skills Training Center, Hitek, Abuja, I said, okay, this is my opportunity. Let me make use of the opportunity. So I decided to come over for the program.
The task of equipping young Nigerians with an employable skill is a formidable one. And despite the challenges, this huge undertaking is already being tackled head-on, and its benefits are fast becoming a reality. In a sense, the growth and development of Nigeria's young people provides a context to examine Nigeria's development, still relatively young, but gradually discovering its potential and the energy it needs to lead the continent forward into the 21st century.
Yanzu a aikin hannu in ka iya shi, to baka tunanin cewa za ka je wani wuri ka sha wahala ka zauna haka nan baka da aikin yi. Ni na gama school, ba ni da aikin yi, na yi buga ban samu aiki ba, so sai na ce bari na zo na yi aikin hannu. Na yi technical school a Niger State, so to da na lokacin ba abin nan sai na je na samu gidan biredi. Kusa yana da 9 years kenan ina aikin biredi. Shi nake biyan bukatuna, komai ko riga na siya da shi nake yi. Saboda haka ina godiya a cikin wannan aiki saboda ina samu.
If Nigeria is able to equip its 70 million youth population with one skill or the other, it can only be imagined what Nigeria will look like in the coming years.
I've picked up a lot of skills from MSTC. Skills like automation. Like in automation, I can automate people's houses, I can automate people's company, I can even automate people's car. Now, with automation, I can do several things and get an end in several ways. That is why I want to be self-employed.
What we need in the industries are skills, competent hands. And I'm proud to say that the trainees that we are having here and that will go out are competent. And so they will provide what is needed. But the whole essence is for others to come in and address this issue of unemployment, because the Industrial Training Fund alone cannot solve the problem. But we are doing our best to provide this skill.
While there are no absolute solutions to the problem of unemployment, the enterprise and optimism of young Nigerians, reinforced through skills training, have provided reasons to be hopeful about the future. And if there is one institution that is preparing the way for this future, it is the Model Skills Training Center.